Dear students, teachers, friends from various colleges and from various parts of the country, a warm welcome to all of you. PG Department of English, KMO College, Koduvally, affiliated to the University of Calicut, is arranging a series of invited talks, seminars, and webinars to motivate the students of English language and literature. KMO College, Koduvally is one of the best colleges in Calicut district under the management of Koduvally Muslim Orphanage, and this college has been offering various programs like BA English, MA English, BCA, BCom, BBA, Psychology, etc., etc., etc. And we have best results in all the examinations. So today we have an eminent personality from Saudi Arabia, Professor Amira Kamar, Department of English, Shakra University in Saudi Arabia. Professor Amira was a student from Farooq College, Autonomous Calicut, and for the last 10 years she has been working in the Department of English, Shakra University, Saudi Arabia. She has a number of publications and she has attended many seminars and webinars in various parts of the country. So today she's presenting a topic, learning English outside the classroom. You know that English is a global language. It is just like a passport for employment and one of the language with a good status, a prestigious language with a scope in job market. We have the need of learning English, and again we have to motivate the students in spoken English, just like written English. So the modern technology is advancing, and students have to learn English outside the classroom by reading habits and by depending the media, etc., etc., etc. So today, Professor Amira presenting some techniques to motivate the students for learning English as a compulsory language, as a lingua franca, language for common use. So let me invite Professor Amira Kamar to present her paper. Thank you all.
Hi all, very warm welcome. Introducing myself, my name is Amira Kamar, a faculty at Ministry of Higher Education, Saudi Arabia. As a part of this webinar, I'd like to read a paper on the topic Beyond the Classroom, Learning English Outside the Classroom to Transfer English Degree to Language Fluency. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for giving me a chance to read this paper. Thank you. Being a student of English department, the students may be equipped with a strong theoretical understanding of the language, but bridging that academic knowledge to practical fluency requires consistent real-world application. As we all know, fluency is the skill built through daily practice, not just study. Both inside and outside the classroom are essential in learning a language. However, the importance of these two environments may change from here to there. For example, in India, English is a foreign language and it's mainly learned inside the classroom. Therefore, the classroom is considered as an essential place for learning. This paper aims to identify different ways of supporting students in learning a language outside the classroom. Specifically, this paper will discuss about different ways of learning English outside the classroom, such as the flipped classroom approach involving students in out-of-classroom learning, online learning, project-based learning, interacting with native speakers, surfing social media, and learning from television, etc., etc. Traditionally, language learning was learned inside the four walls of the classroom, but you know that since the 21st century, it has expressly provided many opportunities so that we can access a broader variety of facilities in order to enhance our language learning. The opportunities beyond the classroom should be noticed. In today's world, the internet, the media, use of English face to face through social network provide more opportunities and meaningful authentic language use than what is available inside the classroom. And many different studies says that applying learners developing skills outside of the classroom plays a very vital role in second language development. However, opportunities for applying foreign language skills outside the classroom may not be as numerous as in the case of second language. Various ways can provide opportunities for learners to enhance and apply their foreign language skills. Understanding outside classroom learning. Learning outside the classroom means learning everywhere except in the classroom itself. Of course, learning inside and outside the classroom has its differences. Usually, when talking about an inside classroom language learning, there is a structural context comes to our mind, such as the teacher standing in front of the students or moving among them, the board mounted on the wall, students seated in rows, etc. However, we may think of different environments and materials when discussing outside the classroom. As the study suggested, location, formality, pedagogy, and control are the four dimensions in which outside the classroom learning may differ. And here is some advantages of language learning outside of the classroom. As per the study, students paid more attention to learners' personal, social, and situated experience in general. Situated experience in general. In just the last few years, many studies, one from Richardus in 2015, have investigated learners' internal lives, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and personal lives, as well as the activities they engage in outside the formal context. However, more knowledge still needs to be about what goes on beyond the classroom. The outside classroom environment is essential in language learning, not only for those who need to learn in such a context, but also for the learners who learn inside the classroom. A very considerable number of people learn a language outside the classroom. It indicates how important it is for language learning to get out of the classroom environment. On the other hand, language learners cannot rely only on the classroom. They need to use beyond the classroom environment for learning and applying what they have learned in the classroom. These learners may use beyond the classroom environment for doing their homework, activities such as surfing on the internet, pleasure reading, playing digital games, listening to music, watching TV, facing native speakers, etc. Okay, expanding the classroom to the outside. Flipped is a newly emerged teaching approach developed to eliminate the limitations of English language learning. According to a study in 2012, it connects the outside and inside of the classroom environment and helps students learn and apply language skills. As Millman explained in the study, learners read different materials from different sources, either provided by the teacher or the learner at home, workplace, or anywhere else. Then the learner tries to understand its meaning or identify the areas of complexity. After that, students come to class to share their understanding with the rest of the class through interaction with other learner or asking questions of the teacher. For example, the teacher assigns learners to prepare and deliver a presentation on a particular topic. Learners go and search and prepare outside the classroom and give presentation in the classroom the other day, etc. According to another study, in countries where English is a foreign language, the classroom is usually the only place where learners learn and use the language. However, learners can only improve slowly and effectively due to the time constraints in the classroom and other factors. In such cases, connecting the inside of the classroom to the outside is critical. Teachers must prepare students to learn and use the language outside the classroom. Teachers must consider learners' interest when expecting them to learn outside the classroom. When expecting students to learn outside of the classroom, teachers must consider the students' knowledge level, need, objective, facilities, etc. Okay. Extensive listening is an approach to learning a language outside of the classroom. It refers to any listening activity that allow learners to receive interesting and comprehensible listening input. Listening helps learners implicitly learn vocabulary, grammar through listening to text or repeatedly hearing the exact words and the same structure. The study suggests that teachers help learners choose appropriate listening material and reflect on their learning. Some characteristics of appropriate extensive reading include being interesting and understandable without pausing, listening to a favorite radio program, a celebrity speech, an interview, a talk show, songs, or many other items can be extensive listening. Learning to listen as a new language takes practice and time, often more than learners have in class. So extensive listening is another kind of outside classroom learning activity. To improve listening abilities, learners must do more than listen to interesting programs. They must also think about how they listen and how to improve their listening skills. Extensive reading, or ER, means reading in quantity and in order to gain a general understanding of what is read. It is intended to develop a good reading habits, to build up knowledge of vocabulary, structure, and encourage the liking for reading. Extensive reading in the target language is an excellent way to learn that language. They claim that extensive reading not only help learners with reading fluency and improvement of reading comprehension, but it also enhance writing, listening, and speaking skill. It's stated that extensive reading improves students' word recognition skill, vocabulary, reading comprehension, fluency, and general language proficiency. Besides, it makes students develop more positive attitude towards reading and language learning. They believe that students get the benefits while enjoying what they are doing. What they need to do is choose understandable materials and read a lot. Another way for foreign language learners whose direct face-to-face contact with a native speaker may be limited to access much new vocabulary is the internet. Next kind is talking to a native speaker. The best way to acquire or learn a foreign language is by being and interacting with the native speakers. It helps learners develop communication skills based on the contact with the native foreign or English speakers outside the classroom. There are specific ways of learning a foreign language through interacting with native speakers, such as studying abroad and living in a related language context. Learners living in a non-English spoken country usually have a chance to study in an English spoken country and reach English language competency. In particular, university students can study a language abroad where the target foreign language is spoken and get degree credits at their home university. Besides this, living in a country where the target language is spoken, such as English, also increases language competency and cultural understanding. And we know that nowadays many different foreign universities provide online courses that boost the communication skill. Journaling is another kind. According to perhaps there was a research study that says that all kinds of journaling are a means for recording personal ideas, daily experiences, and evolving insights. When journaling, someone talks to him or herself, another person, or an imaginary person. And it's the best approach for supporting learners to develop and improve their writing skill. In addition, it helps learners to in terms of personal growth, synthesis, or reflection on what they have acquired. And as a teacher, we may encourage learners to write in a dialogue journal or keep other journals. A dialogue journal is actually a practical approach that keeps learners involved in language learning outside the classroom. It's a conversation between the teacher and the learner. However, today's social media such as Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., may have reduced its importance to some extent. For this dialogue journal, especially in developed countries. However, it is still a helpful approach in countries such as India. Journaling has a lot of benefits. One of the best advantages of the dialogue journal is that it helps to understand the learner's zone of proximal development, and also it provides more personal input to them. So keep journaling. Try to keep a journal of ours, right? To write like a diary, right? Try to do whatever happened on that day in English language. That definitely help us to boost our English language skill. Next one is project-based learning. Project-based learning is an active approach to learning and teaching a language in which learners are assigned to explore real-world problems and issues. Like I have defined project-based learning as an instructional approach in which learners are expected to solve a problem or develop a product. As its name suggests, project-based learning, organized learning around a project, which is usually complex task for learners such as problem solving, decision making, or investigation. Then use of technology. We know that the traditional chalk and talk approach to teaching is only sometimes useful and successful. Nowadays, as in other fields of life, teaching and learning have also become dependent on technology. Using technology in classes will allow students to be faster, more effective, and more permanent learning. Looking at the increasing role of technology in daily life, education systems should adjust themselves and take advantage of the great influence of the technology over learners. Technology will not only help learners to learn independent, but also collaborative with their fellows. One of the great ways of supporting learners outside the classroom to learn English with the help of technology is through online or e-learning. Reading is another skill that can be improved through technology outside the classroom. Reading will help learners rise their knowledge level, enjoy literature. More importantly, it helps to improve the vocabulary. Imagine we could read on a computer or tablet. Learners can access thousands of books. We can search we can search for the book in seconds and read them on screen. And if they face any meaning or pronunciation problem, it's easy to check and listen. In addition, reading application on smartphone, tablets, or computer has many facilities and that are only easy to have with these technological tools. In short, technology help us to read or to access the reading material within seconds, and definitely that helps to boost our vocabulary skill. Technology helps in the improvement of speaking skill as well. The latest technological tools have provided various practical opportunities for learners. These tools improve learners' vocabulary and pronunciation. Then exploring social media. The revolution of technology has changed the world into a village, and the World Wide Web, especially social media, has a crucial role nowadays. Different social medias are particularly widely used to share and to get in touch with each other. Many learners use social media to discuss school, university, or classroom matters. And there are many more apps related to online English teaching and learning, like British Council, iWriter, Speaker, different podcasts, etc., are used the most on the worldwide university campuses. And social media platform help learners to improve English language proficiency in general. Specifically, it helps improve listening, reading, and writing skills and develop vocabulary. So to conclude, English language learning is not merely a degree. It could help us in many different ways if we practice the language learning in a fruitful way, not only in the classroom but also outside the classroom. And the medias, the technology, etc., we could make in an effective way to practice, or we can use the different platforms as a perfect way to practice the language learning, like through watching movies, listening to English song and podcast, narrating your day to yourself, keeping a daily journal, join to a language exchange community, participate in an interest-based group, practice with friends, focus on idioms and slang, practice public speaking, join a club like Toastmasters, or participate in local debates. These are the different ways we could make use of to boost our English language learning skill. So that's all about the topic. Your journey to mastering English language is in your hands now. It's a key that can unlock new career, new friendship, new ways of seeing the world. So take this as a challenge. Don't wait for the next class. Start today. Choose one of the small activity we have talked about, like keeping a journal or narrating your day to yourself, and make it a habit. Thank you. Thank you all.